6 English medium. Turn on the chat. So how are you? Right. So today we are going to start the first unit of the second term fractions. So this is the tutorial that is regarded for the month of May. And we have already started to send the tutorials to your home, right? The 20th of April, we have started to send the tute for the next month. So I think most of you who had paid the class fee for the month of May, they already have the tutorial, right? Okay, so I'm going to start. I got 92 marks. Who's that? 96 for the first term test. Superb. Who's that? Fatima. Superb. Anyone else got marks for the term test? My all students, I'm asking from the all students. Turn on the mic for the Fatima. 97, 92. Superb. Yeah, okay. 90, 100. Okay. Fatima. Fatima. Turn on the mic.
Yes, sir.
You got 96 marks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, when did you come to our class? When did you start to come to our classes?
From the starting, I came to the classes, sir.
Starting. Okay, great. So, you have all the tutes with you, right?
Yes, sir.
You have
Except the March tute. May tute.
May 1, right? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Buddha. So we have already started to send the tutes. Actually, 25th, we have started to send the tutes. Okay, you will receive it as soon as possible.
Okay, sir.
Okay, Buddha.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. Okay. So I know there are so many new students. 93 and first place in the class. Superb. Daphne Shania. Superb. 97, 82, 100. Okay, superb. So are there any new students today? Put new to the chat if you are a new student. Put new to the chat if you are a new student. Okay, I know there are so many new students today. Okay. All right. Just turn off the chat. Okay. So I know there are so many new students today because today is the commencement of the second term. And I also know your parents are with the class as well. So I'm going to start the lesson fractions. And also I will explain about my classes. Each and every month, our students, they would receive the tutorial that is regarded for the particular month. And also, Uta, we are sending the model term test papers as well. And the previous month, when you're talking about the month of April, we have completed all the units of the first term, and also I have sent the first term test model paper to their home, and I have discussed that as well. So all the new students and all the new parents, so you can understand about our class from the today session, and I will explain everything regarding our class from the today session, right? And also at the starting, so my students, they have already told me the marks. Some of the students who got the marks, actually, I think not all of them have got the marks yet, but you could say that there are so many students who got the marks really well, right? So you can understand. So at the beginning of the class, so I think the new students and the parents, they can understand the neither can understand about our class. Right. Okay. You'll understand more about our classes when the session goes on, right? So meanwhile, doing the lesson, I will explain everything regarding our class. There are so many options that you can gain from attending into our class as well. Right. Okay, let's go to the lesson, Pudha. Write down the topic, fractions. Write down the topic, fractions. Okay. Fractions. 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 What are the unit fractions? That is your unit number 9, actually. unit number 9, right? Unit number 9, and also the first unit that is regarded for the second term. Okay. Putha, before we move on to the fractions, Putha, you already know when you go to the shops, when you go to the supermarkets with your parents, actually, not nowadays, actually, in the past days, hari කඩේකට ගිහිලා මුදලාලි පාන් භාගයක් දෙන්න කොහොම තමයි කියන්නේ. පාන් රාත්තලක් වැඩි නම්. හරි. Can I have a half a loaf of a bread, please? කියලා කියනවා. Okay. So, what do you mean by half a loaf of bread? Write down number 1. What do you mean by half? What is the meaning of the half? So, Bhuta, you can understand. If this is the loaf of the bread, right? If I go to a shop and if I request from the Mudalali, please give me a half of a loaf of bread. That means, neither. මේ loaf of bread එක හරියටම දෙකට මැදින් කපලා කෑල්ලක් දෙනවනේ. Right? Okay. So, Bhute, here, so there are two pieces like this. You can understand there are two pieces like this. So one piece, I can say 1/2. This one piece is 1/2 of loaf of the bread. Hari. මේක පාන් ගෙඩියෙන් හරියටම දෙකෙන් එකක්. හරි. The loaf of bread is cut into 2 equal pieces. And one piece I can say that is the half of the loaf of the bread. Hari. So what do you mean by the half? So what do you mean by the half, Buddha? Right? Hari. Take your notebooks, Buddha, and all my students. Hari. Actually, I want to say, I couldn't say that for all the past pupils and all the new pupils as well. Please take your notebooks. You have to do the today's session in your notebook, right? Not in the tute. I know there are some students, they already got the tute. But I instruct you to do the works today on your notebook, right? In our classes, there are so many things of the new students. Don't worry, I will explain everything. There are so many things I have to explain about my class. Okay. So meanwhile, I'm doing the class, meanwhile doing the session, I will explain everything. Okay. So just take the notebook, right? Just take the notebook and write the topic fractions. That is unit number 9, right? So before we move into the fractions, this is the introduction part, right? What I have told you, right? You and your parents, the some of you and your parents, they go to the shop and request from the Mudalali, Mudalali, please give me a half of a loaf of bread, please. That means, මේ loaf of bread දෙක හරියටම equal parts දෙකකට කපලා එක කෑල්ලක් තමයි ඔය half a loaf of bread කියලා කියන්නේ. හරි. ඒතර half කියන්නේ මොකද්ද පුතා? 1/2, right? What do you mean by half? Half means 1/2, right? The half of a loaf of bread means that cut into 2 equal pieces and give one piece එකක් තමයි ඒතර half කියලා කියන්නේ. හරි. Make a fraction එක. So this is a fraction actually. Okay. So in the fraction, the number which is under this line, we call it as denominator. In this fraction, any fraction, the number which is below the line, we call it as denominator. The number which is upper of the line, we call it as numerator. Take the note. numerator, right? So basically, you can understand what do you mean by the half. Half means 1 over 2. That means something is cut into two equal pieces, and one such piece we call it as half of the full piece. Full piece, right? So you can get the basic idea, right? What do you mean by the half a loaf of bread? Okay. Sometimes පුතා හරි කඩේට ගිහිල්ලා මුදලාලිගෙන් ඉල්ලනවා දැන් පාන් භාගයක් ඉල්ලනවා වගේ සමහර කට්ටිය ඉල්ලනවා පාන් කාලක් දෙන්නකෝ අපිට. Give us a quarter of a loaf of a bread. Quarter a loaf of a bread, please. What do you mean by quarter? Number 2. Okay, what do you mean by quarter? Quarter of a loaf of bread. Right? What do you mean by that? Okay, this is the loaf of the bread. Okay, so this is the loaf of the bread. Okay, so here you can understand, if I cut this loaf of the bread into two equal parts, as I have explained, you get a half of the bread, half of the loaf of the bread. So this is the half. Half I cut into the two equal pieces, right? So you get such pieces, මේ වගේ pieces හම් වෙනවාද? 2. එතකොට මේක මේ full loaf of the bread එකෙන් 1 over 4 නේද පුතා? මේක 1 over 4. හරි. 1 over 4. හරි. And also here you can understand it properly if you if you cut this loaf of the bread into 4 equal parts. Hurry. 4 equal parts, one such piece is this, right? Hurry. So what do you mean by the quarter? What do you mean by the quarter? Quarter means 1 over 4. Hurry. 1 over 4. හතරකින් එකක්. සම්පූර්ණ පාංගෙඩිය සමාන කොටස් හතරකට වෙන් කරලා එක කොටසක් ගත්තාම අපි ඒකට කියනවා quarter එකක් කියලා. Quarter of the full loaf of the bread. හරි. Right. So this is also a fraction. The number which is under the line, we call it as the denominator. So the denominator of this fraction is 4, right? So this is the denominator. The number which is, right, on upper of the line, we call it as the numerator. So the numerator of this fraction is 1. Right? So this is the something very basic introduction for the fractions actually. We have not started the lesson yet, but this is something like the approach level for the lesson, right? So you can understand. So we are going to do the lesson fractions, that is unit number 9. right? Before we move into the fractions, what do you mean by the half? Half a loaf of bread means what? Bread is cut into two equal pieces, and one such piece we call it as half of the full piece. Half means 1/2. දෙකකින් එකක්. හරි. හරි. So what do you mean by the quarter of a loaf of the bread? We cut the bread into four equal pieces, and one such piece we call it as the quarter of a loaf of the bread. Quarter means 1/4. The fraction is 1/4, right? So in the fraction, the number which is below the line, we call it as the denominator, and the number which is on the upper of the line, we call it as the numerator. That is the basic thing I have taught you so far. Turn on the chat. Can you understand this? Okay, right. Put nodded on the chat. What random? the ප්‍රශ්නේ? Ashar, we have already updated the systems. From this month, you will receive the tute once you pay the class fee within 3 days. You can understand, right? Put noted on the chat if you have already noted this down. Okay. Right. Turn off the chat. Okay. So how to read this fraction? This fraction is, I can read it as half and also 1/2. How to read this fraction? 1/4 or the quarter. Right. Write down number 3. Write down number 3. Write down number 3. Write these in words. Write these fractions words. Number 1. How I can read this fraction? 1/2. This is a special fraction, no, because of that I can say half, right? I can say 1/2 of the half, half. Number 2, 1/4. How I can read this? 1/4. This is also a special fraction. We call it as quarter. The අනිත් ඒවාට special words නෑ. Okay. 5/9. මම එක කියලා. You have to write it, So how I can read this fraction? 1/4. As it is a special fraction, also we can call it as quarter. How I can read this with it? 5/9, right? Five over 9. What about the fourth one? 1/10. How I can write this? Three over 7. Okay. So generally, you can understand how to read a fraction as well. So basically, in a fraction, you have to understand that, right? You have to understand that if I take a fraction, for example, if I take 5/9, right? So what is the denominator and what is the numerator? What is the denominator of this fraction? And what is the numerator of this fraction? All right. This is the denominator. This is the numerator. Denominator is 9, numerator is 5. Put yes to the chat if you could understand about the number 3, that how to read a fraction. And put noted on the chat if you have already noted the number 3. Let's see the chat. Nice. Okay. Turn off the chat. Yeah, 1/4. එහෙම කියන්නත් පුළුවන්. මේ වගේ වදිනකොට 1/4. හරි. 1/10 එහෙම කියන්නත් පුළුවන් 1/4 of something. Hari. But generally we can read this as 1/4. Generally how I can read the fraction. 1/4 means if you want to say something of something, you can the bread එකෙන් 4න් එකක් 1/4 of the bread. Hari. Like that. Okay, let's go to the number 4, Buddha. Let's go to the number 4. Hurry. Number 4. I have instructed you to do the works on your notebook, right? You have to do the works on notebook today. Huh? Okay. Let's see. It says without shade 1/2 a part of following figures. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ හැම figure එකකම half shade කරන්න කියලා කියනවා. Half of the full figure you have to shade. Full figure එකෙන් half you have to shade. හරි? Okay, just draw these diagrams. Sorry. පොඩක් මේ scale පොඩක් ඇඳ ගන්න ලස්සන්ට. දැන් this has cut into 2 equal pieces, 4 equal pieces. Make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 equal pieces. 8 equal pieces. Hurry. 2 equal pieces. Here like this. I will explain this later. 4 equal pieces and 2 equal pieces. Okay. Okay. Draw the diagram. Draw the diagrams. Okay. Shade half of the part of following figures. Hurry. Half up to shade karanna ඕන. So you can understand with a 1/2, Hari, 2 equal pieces, and you have to shade 1 piece. Hari. So make half of the full piece. Ne? Half of the full piece. What about here? it has been cut into 4 equal pieces. හරි. ඔන්න කේක් එකක් 4 equal pieces වලට කපලා තියෙනවා. කේක් එකෙන් භාගයක්ම කන්න ඕන නම් ඔයා 2 pieces කන්න ඕනනේ. 4 pieces තියෙනවා 2 pieces කන්න එපේ. භාගයක් කනවා නම් then you have to shade 2 pieces. හරි. You have to shade 2 pieces. හරි. එහෙනම් මේ shaded parts shaded area එක වෙන්නේ මුළු full figure එකෙන් half. හරි. You can understand. What about this? This full figure has been cut into 6 equal parts. ඔන්න කේක් එකක් 6 equal parts වලට කපලා තියෙනවා. කේක් එකෙන් halfම කන්න ඕනේ නම් ඔයා 3 parts කන්න ඕන. Like that you have to shade 3 parts here. What about the next one? It's like a pizza. Pizza has been cut into 8 equal parts. If you want to eat the half of it, 8 equal parts, you know, 4 pieces කන්න ඕන. Right, so you have to shade 4 pieces. එක කොහෙන් හරි කමක් නැහැ. එක ළඟම වෙන්න ඕනෙත් නැහැ. මොනද එක ළඟම පාට කරන්නම් ඉතින් ඕන. හරි 4 equal pieces නේ. ඔය shade කරලා තියෙන region එක වෙන්නේ half of the full figure. හරි. What about the next one? So you can understand already it has been cut into 2 equal pieces. So 1 over 2 means neither. Hari, half means one part of this. So what about here, Bhute? What about the next one? Next one, can you understand the මෙතන මේ 3 pieces ගත්තොත් එහෙම ඒවා equal නෑ. හරි. එතකොට අපිට ඒකේ half mark කරන්න බෑ. හරි. මම මේකට පොඩි construction එකක් කරනවා. I'm doing some little construction here. I do some little construction here. Hurry. I draw a line like this. So now you can understand this figure has been cut into 4 equal parts. Hurry. එහෙනම් 4 equal parts නම් ඔයා 2 parts shade කරනවා. ඒ 2 parts කොහෙන් වුණත් කමක් නැහැ. මට ඕන නම් මෙහෙම මේ parts දෙක shade කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් උඩ parts දෙකක් shade කරන්න පුළුවන්. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Hurry. What about here? There are 4 equal parts, right? So you have to shade 2 parts. What about here? Right. So you can understand. And here it has been given the, this is the denominator, this is the numerator of a fraction. So here it says the number above the line is called as the numerator, sorry, called as the numerator. And the number below the line is called as the denominator, all right? Okay, so take the note down. Take the note in your notebook as well here, like that. Turn on the chat. Can you understand this? All right, so half of the full figure, we have to shade it. Can you understand, Buddha? Nice. That is very simple. Put noted on the chat if you have already done this with it. Oh, Dinita, turn on the mic for Dini. What's the problem, Dini? Tell me, Dini, what's the problem?
Sir, at which time the period is finished? Class is finishing.
You're asking the time which the class is finishing?
Yeah,
Will be
teacher.
finished. Will be finished. Why? What's the problem? 7.
Okay, sir.
Hey, what's the problem with that?
I am new that side.
Okay. I'll explain everything about the class. Do you have any works after 7? No. I mean, do you have any classes? Meanwhile, no?
Yes, sir.
At which time?
At 7:30.
Ah, so our class is until 7, so don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay, we shall go to the fifth question. Okay, we shall go to the fifth question. And actually, as soon as possible, I will explain everything about our classes for all the newbies. Don't worry. Okay, we shall go to the fifth one. Shade the quarter of following figures. You have to shade quarter, right? That means 1/4 of these figures. Okay, draw the figures, Puta. Draw the figures on your notebook. Put number 5. Okay. So basically, you can understand, Puta, this figure has been cut into 4 equal parts. So 1/4. හතරකින් එකක් තමයි shade කරන්න කියන්නේ. 4 equal parts and you have to shade one part. Quarter of the full figure. So you can shade one part. So this part is quarter of the full figure. That means 1/4 of the full figure. What about this figure? This figure also, you can understand, this figure has been cut into the 4 equal parts. So you are asked to shade 1/4 of the full figure. So you can shade one part. Right? 4 equal parts in a one part. 4 equal parts. So you can shade one part. 4 equal parts, you can shade one part. 4 equal parts, you can shade one part. Turn on the chat. Turn on the chat. Uda, can you understand this? Yeah. Put noted on the chat if you have already noted this down on your notebooks. Okay. Okay, turn off the chat. Kian, why is that? Okay, Kian, I think maybe you are a newbie. But don't worry, like, right, also we are streaming this class on the YouTube as well because this is the commencement of the second term. So you can catch it up from the video as well. Hari. Right, okay. Write down the subtopic with a classification of fractions. Now I'm going to teach you about the classification of fractions. Write down the subtopic. Classification of fractions. Classification of fractions. Put number one. Put number one. Unit fractions. What do you mean by unit fractions? Right, number one. Unit fractions. Unit fractions. Puta, when we consider about the fractions like this, you can understand all the fractions, their numerator is 1. All the fractions which is their numerator is 1. We call them as unit fractions. I can write so many. Ne? Whatever the fraction, if its numerator is 1, we call such type of fractions as unit fractions. Try down. When numerator is 1 in any fraction, when numerator is 1, write down. I can write so many. Right. When numerator is 1, when numerator is 1, in any fraction, we call it as unit fractions. Unit fractions. Right. Uttap, before I move into the next type of fractions, I would like to give all the information about my classes for all the new students, right? So as a commencement class for a new term, so there are so many new students here. So I have to explain about my classes for them, right? So Buddha, basically you can understand, and I also believe that your parents are with you. I'm just talking for the newbies. If you are a newbie, when your parents are not around, okay, please ask them to come near to you. All right. Now I'm going to explain about my classes. So basically, you can understand, Buddha. You can understand. So apart from the school education, right? I know you all are going to the schools. Ne? Apart from the school education, our students they intend to go for the tuition classes. So you can go for the tuition classes. If you want to go for a tuition class, you can go for a physical tuition class, or else you can go for a online class, right? Right. So there are various physical classes which are in different standards, and also there are various online classes which are in different standards. Correct? It is something like if you want to eat, we can go to a payment and we can eat something from the payment, right? It would be very cheap. But also if you want a quality product එකක් ඕන නම් පොඩක් PNS එකට ගිහිල්ලා කන්න පුළුවන් නේ ටිකක් හොඳට ඊට වඩා ඊටත් වඩා හොඳට ඕන නම් Hilton එකට ගිහිල්ලා කන්න පුළුවන් නේ එක එක levels තියෙනවා හරි whatever it is. So you can understand, Puta, if you are going for a physical class, actually your parents they need to go with you, right? They need to go with you for the class, and also ආයෙ ගෙදර එද්දිත් අම්මා එන්න බෑ. අම්මා යන්න සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි හිතුවොත් 1 hour යනවා කියලා එන්න 1 hour ගියොත් 2 hours විතර you are wasting for the road per day, right? If you multiply it by 4, you are wasting like 8 hours minimum. Minimum 8 hours for the road. 1 hour වලින් ගියොත් පන්තියට. Maybe some of them are going 2 hours, like wasting the time on the road. But here you can understand you are not wasting any time. Ne? You are not wasting any time. And also each and every month I am sending the tudes. And also when there are term tests, I am sending the papers to your home free of charge. Each and every month. Let me show you the tutorial for the month of May. Let me show that. So here you can see this is the tute number 5. Tute number 5 means then May කියන්නේ fifth month එක year එකේ. හරි හැම මාසෙම tute එකක් තියෙනවා tute number 5. So this tute is consist of the lessons, fractions and selections. Unit number 9 and unit number 10. So here all the things that I am doing in the class is included in the tutorial. Actually students they can do the works on the tute. හරි ටියුට් එකේම කරන්න පුළුවන්. මේ ටියුට් එක අපි දැන් පුතා අපි දැන් තියෙන new system එකත් එක්ක we have already have the connections with the central mail post. අපි daily tutes එවනවා. මේ සාමාන්‍යයෙන් after the payment within 2 or 3 days you are getting the tute, not like the previous ones. From this month onwards, හරි like 2 or 3 within 3 days, definitely within 3 days you are getting the tute after the payment. හරි from this month onwards. So here you can understand the quality of the tutorial here, right? All the things that I'm covering up in the class, you can understand, right? The fractions. Right? Lesson read the theory, lamata tute ekema karanna. Right. So after the lesson, you have to do all the textbook exercises, and also our students they have to do a special tute. Meaning special tute එකක් තියෙනවා, questions තියෙන special tute එකක්. ඒකේ answers අන්තිමට තියෙනවා. හරි. හරි. ඔන්න බලන්න දැන් ඊළඟ lesson එක selections. හරි. ඔන්න දැන් selections. ඒ selections මම උගන්වන කාරණා හැම එකක්ම මේ පන්තියේදී මේ ටියුට් එකේම කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරිද? මම උගන්වනකොට ඊට පස්සේ ඒක ඉවර කරපුවාම textbook exercises ටික කරන්න ඕන. හරි ඊට පස්සේ special tute එකක් තියෙනවා. මේ special tute එකේ ඔක්කොගේම answers උත් මෙතන තියෙනවා. තවත් අභ්‍යාස හොයන කාලේ දැන් some students they need more exercises. හරි. some students ඉන්නවා එයාලා දරුවෝ මේ ගණන් හදා හොයනවා. චෝටි වුණාට සමහර කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා එහෙම කට්ටිය. එතකොට මේ QR එක අපි ස්කෑන් කරාම after we scan this QR scan කියන්නේ මේ data on කරලා කැමරාව මෙතනට අරගෙන යන්න විතරයි තියෙන්නේ. හරි. එතකොට link එකක් එනවා නේ. මේ link එකක් එනවා. ඒ link එක click කරාම තව extra exercises ඕනනම් තියෙනවා. මේ තියෙන extra tute කියලා තවත් extra tute එකක් answers එක්ක. ඊට පස්සේ අර special tute හැම එකේම answers මේක click කරාම තියෙනවා. මම update කරලා හරි. හරි මේක තාම අප්ඩේට් කරලා නැහැ. ඒක හෙට වගේ අප්ඩේට් කරනවා. මේක එබුවාම ඒකේ ඔක්කොගේම ආන්සර්ස් ටික එනවා. මේක එබුවාම තවත් අමතර අභ්‍යාසත් එක්ක ආන්සර්ස් එනවා. හරි. තේරෙනවද? ඒ කියන්නේ මේක එක්ස්ට්‍රා ටියුට්. හරි. කියන්නේ ස්පෙෂල් ටියුට් නෙමෙයි මේක එක්ස්ට්‍රා ටියුට්. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක හැමදිනම් කරන්න බුල දැන් අතන වැඩ ගොඩක් කෙරිලයි තියෙන්නේ. තවත් ගණන් හොයාගෙන යන ළමයි ඉන්නවා නම් ඒක මේක ක්ලික් කරලා ඒක ඒ ටික කරන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරි. So each and every month so you are getting such a tutorial to your home. You can understand the quality and the quantity of the tutor as well. Right. So mostly in the physical classes that I know, you are not getting such a tutor. I don't know. Depends. Okay, whatever. When we talk about the so here timetable so we are conducting the live classes now. So you can already understand in the live class the students they can interact with me and learn. If you miss the live class, there are repeat classes. If you miss the repeat, you can watch all the class recordings from my website. Let me show my website as well. You can use my website. Hari ඕන ගානක් ඕනම වාර ගානක් ඕන වෙලාවක recording බලන්න පුළුවන්. මම පේනවා website එක. මේක timetable එක. Live class is on Friday 5:30 to 7 p.m. Repeat class එක කියන්නේ live class එකේම repeat class එක Monday 7 to 8:30 repeat වෙනවා Zoom එකෙන්. ඒත් බැරුණොත් web එකෙන් you can watch the recordings. Right. Let me show the web. හරි. දැන් මේ web එකත් එක්ක ඉස්සරහට app එකකුත් එනවා. හරි. So you can understand the quality and quantity of the website as well. දැන් මේක තමයි website එක. After you come to our classes, you have to create an account here from the WhatsApp number. You are sending us the receipt of the payment. හරි. එතකොට payment කරපු අයට මේක දැන් බලන්න grade 6. So this is grade 6 English medium class එක මේක. හරි. ඕකට ගිහිල්ලා ඔයගොල්ලෝගේ relevant month එක මෙතන click කරලා year එක select කරලා මේක click කරාම all the recordings you can watch. And also past tunes දැන් පරණ tunes තියෙනවානේ. ඒවා වුණත් stocks, if there are stocks are available, හරි. If stocks available, you can get the tune from the website එකෙන් order කරන්න පුළුවන් ඕනනම්. හරි. හරි. මෙතන study packs කියලා කියන්නේ if you are a new student, for example, parents, you have to understand then if you are a new student, හරි. You didn't come to my first unit. ඔන්න ඔයා මගෙන් first unit එක ඉගෙනගෙන නෑ. දැන් ඔයා ඉගෙන ගන්න මගෙන් fractions 9th unit එක. හැබැයි ඔයාට circles කියන unit එක ඔයාට cover කරගන්න ඕනේ දැන්. ඉස්කෝලේ වෙලත් නෑ කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. එහෙනම් මෙන්න මෙතනදී මේ study pack එකට ගිහිල්ලා මේක click කරලා මේක වෙනම අරගෙන බලන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි ඒ month එකේ හිටපු කට්ටිය ඉන්නවා කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. For example, දැන් ඔන්න දැන් මගේ ඉන්නවා පුතා මිහිණි ඉන්නවා. හරිද? මිහිණි ජනවරි month එකේ class ආපු කෙනෙක්. එයා circles උගන්වනකොට හිටියා. හරි. හිටියා නම් එයාට මේ මුකුත් කරන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. එයාට මේ recordings ටික ගිහිල්ලා ඕන වෙලාවක බලන්න පුළුවන්. මේ ඊයේ ඒ කියන්නේ දැන් ඔයා මේ මාසේ recording ටික ඊළඟ මාසෙත් බලන්න පුළුවන් ඈ. තව මාස ගාණක් ගියත් බලන්න පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ free of charge. හරි. ඒ month එකට දාලා හරි. ඒතකොට බලන්න හැමදේම ලේසි කරලා තියෙන්නේ. ඉතින් දරුවන්ට මේ කිසිම කරදරයක් නැතුව වැඩේ කරගන්න. ඉතින් මෙතන package tracking කියලා option එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒ tracking option එකේදී ඔයගොල්ලෝ class payment එක කරලා tute එක කොහෙද තියෙන්නේ කියලා අර බලන්න පුළුවන්. pick me වල තියෙන්නේ. කොහෙද දැන් වාහනේ තියෙන්නේ? pick me එක දැන් කොහේ හරි දෙන්නේ වගේ. ඒක බලා ගන්න පුළුවන්. මේක efficient කරලා තියෙන්නේ මේ මාසේ ඉඳලා. මොකද මේ මාසේ ඉඳලා අපි එවන්නේ speed post කියන criteria එකෙන් කෙලින්ම central mail post එකෙන් ඒ කියන්නේ මධ්‍යම තැපැල් හුවමාරුවෙන් කියලා එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් තමයි ලංකාව දැන් අපි post office එකට ගිහලා tutes දුන්නාම ඉස්සලාම post office එක දුන්නා post office එකෙන් අරහට යන්න ඕනේ. එහෙන් ගිහලා තමයි බෙදන්නේ. හරි. එතකොට ඇත්තටම තව දවසක් විතර පරක් වෙනවනේ. ඒකත් නැති කරලා කෙලින්ම central mail post එකත් එක්ක අපි කතා කරලා අපි ගිහිල්ලා meetings තියලා පවා හරි ඒගොල්ලොන්ගේ තැපැල් කොමසාරිස් එක්කම meetings තියලා මෙන්න අපි per month මෙච්චර tutes ප්‍රමාණයක් යවනවා. අපි around 4 million ඔයගොල්ලන්ට per month අපි ගෙවන අතර 4 million වගේ ගෙවනවා අපි තැපැල් කන්තරුවට විතරක් හැම මාසෙම ගෙවනවා. ඔයාලගේ වෑන් එකක් කරුණා කරලා හැමදාම අපේ ඔෆිස් එකට එවන්න. හරි. මේ post office වලට අපි බාර දෙන්නේ නැත. අදත් ආවා. හරි. එතකොට කෙලින්ම ගිහිල්ලා යන්නේ central mail post එකට. එදාම මේව කරනවා. ඊළඟ දවසේ tute එක හම්බ වෙනවා. ඕනම් උඩරිම දවස් 3ක් ඇතුළත ඔයාලගේ tute එක හම්බ වෙනවා මේ මාසේ ඉඳලා. හරි. ඒකට අවශ්‍ය හැමදේම කරලායි තියෙන්නේ. ඒතර ඒක මෙතන track කරගන්නත් පුළුවන්. හරි. ඒතර මේකේ තැපැල් කන්තෝරුවේ speed post tracking option මේ systems අපිට දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ අපිට list එකක් දුන්නාම මේකේ track වෙනවා. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ මේක tute එක ගිහිල්ලාද නැද්ද කියලා පවා පෙන්නනවා. ඕන පෙන්නන්නම් ඒක. මේ PDF එක මට දාලා දෙන්න මේකට. විශේෂයක් අපි පෙන්නමු අපි updates ගැන. පෙන්නන්න දෙපේ. කියන්නේ හැම පැත්තෙම මේ වැඩේ තව ස්මූත් කරනවා අපි. හරි. As soon as possible I will release the app as well. හරි. මේකේ app එකකුත් අපි release කරනවා. තව ඔයාලට වැඩ ලේසි වෙන්න. දැන් ඔන්න බලන්න දැන් ඔය tracking option එක මම නිකන් මේ පෙන්නන්න අද පොඩක් අර මේ introduction session of the commencement class of the second term නිසා. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ system කරලා තියෙන ඔක්කොම. මම පෙන්නන්නම් මේ mail post central mail post එකේ අර deliver වෙන එක පවා අපිට වැටෙනවා. ඒකෙන් මෙතන අපි integrate කරලා තියෙන ඔක්කොම. තකල එක දාගන්න. ඒක මේ මාසෙ ඉඳලා තමයි අපි ඒක implement කරේ ඒ අලුත් system එක. එහෙනම් මේ අපිට දැන් මේ ඔක්කොම වැටෙනවා. මේ ළමයාට ඩිලිවර් වෙලාද නැද්ද? මේක නම් මේ පරණ එකක් මේ ඔල්රෙඩි ඒවා ඩිලිවර් වෙලා තියෙන්නේ නැහැ. ගොඩක් ඒවා මේ පරණ PDF එකක් මේ. මේ අපිට ඔක්කොම රිපෝට්ස් එනවා. මේක ඩිලිවර් වෙලාද තියෙන්නේ, අයිටම් එක ඩිලිවර් වෙලාද නැද්ද කියලා. මම මේ එක රිපෝට් එකක් මේ පෙන්නන්නේ. හරි. පේනවා. අයිටම් ඩිලිවර්ඩ් කියලා වැඩේ. දැන් මේ මාසෙ ඩියුට්ස් ඔය අතර. හරි. ඒ කියන්නේ ඔක්කොම සිස්ටමයිස් කරලා තියෙන්නේ. Right. So you can understand everything, huh? So our class fee is actually per month. Our class fee is just only 2000 rupees. Putha, grade 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, all students have the same class fee, 2000 rupees. Right? Same class fee for the until the grade 11. Right? එතකොට මේ 2000 කියන class fee එක ඇතුලේ මේ ටියුට් එක නොමිලේ හම්බ වෙනවා. හරි. අනුවාසන. එතකොට දරුවට වෙබ්සයිට් එක නොමිලේ පාවිච්චි කරන්න අවස්ථාව හම්බ වෙනවා. රෙකෝඩින් ඕන තරම් ඕන වෙලාව බලන්න. හරි. එතකොට මේ ඔප්ෂන්ස් ඔක්කොම තියෙන දීලා තමයි මේ ගාන ගන්නෙ. හරි. දැන් some classes I have seen 300 rupees වලටත් classes තියෙනවා. අනිත් එක තමයි educational qualification of the tutor. So I'm your tutor. It is very important නේ මේ ඔය class තියෙනවා කියලා ඉතින් එහෙම උගන්නන ගුරුවරයා ගැන බලන්න බෑ. නේද? class නම් ඇති ඕන තරම්. My O-level results 9 A's. My A-level results from math stream 3 A's. I have been selected for the University of Actually, I could go for the University of Moratuwa, but I have selected the University of Peradeniya because I want to go there. So I have graduated from University of Peradeniya as an electrical and electronic engineer. Correct? Okay, so you can understand the quality and the quantity of our class. Right? So this is the details that I want to give for all the newbies. If you want to continue our class, what you have to do now? Now I am posting a WhatsApp community group link on the chat. Make sure to join with this community. So chat එකේ ඔය අනිවාර්යෙන්ම link එක click කරන්න. click කරලා ඔකට join වෙලා ඉන්න. We will post each and every details. How to pay the class fee. There are so many ways. How to pay the class fee. After pay the class fee, which number that you have to send the receipt. As soon as you send the receipt, we are checking the receipts and everything, and we are packing your tute and we are sending the tutes on that day itself. So you can understand. So for now, we have to do what? You have to make sure to join with the WhatsApp community group that I am posting on the chat right now. Okay, right. Okay, so we shall go to the lesson again. So I think you can understand everything about our class. So there are so many classes. There are so many classes, even though එක එක ගණන් වලට classes ඇති. ඉතින් ඒ වල එක එක options ඇතුවයි. රුපියල් 300ක් class ඇතිනේ. අපිට ටියුට් එක එවන්නම 200 rupees යනවා. මේ ටියුට් එක print කරන්න 400 500 වගේ යනවා. There are so many staff members in my office, so I have to pay them. ගොඩක් දේවල් තියෙනවා. Zoom package. ඒතර ඒවත් එක්ක බලන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ. ඒක කැමති නම් එන්න. කැමති නම් මොකක් ඒ කියන්නේ කැමති දෙයක් කරන්න. හරි. Right. We shall go to the lesson. Right. So number 1, unit fractions, classification of fractions. So you can understand what do you mean by the unit fractions. So the unit fractions are the fractions which is their numerator is always 1. Right. We shall go to the number 2. Write down number 2, proper fractions. Write down number 2, proper fractions. What do you mean by proper fractions? Without proper fractions are the fractions always the numerator is lesser than the denominator. Always numerator is lesser than the denominator. All right, write down the fractions, all the fractions, all the fractions, all the fractions that the numerator, that the numerator is lesser than, is lesser than lesser than denominator, we call them, we call them proper fractions. We call them proper fractions. Proper fractions. Write down number 3. So you can understand, right? Okay. Write down number 3. Write down number 3. Improper fractions improper fractions. Puta, what do you mean by improper fractions? Improper fractions means all the fractions numerator is greater than denominator. Numerator is greater than denominator. Alright? Such type of fractions we call them as improper fractions. All the fractions all the fractions that the numerator is greater than is greater than denominator. We call them improper fractions. Improper fractions. Puta, can you understand about the classification of fractions, Puta? I have turned on the chat, okay? So can you understand what do you mean by the unit fractions? What do you mean by the proper fractions? And what do you mean by the improper fractions? Why, Ramin? What is the problem? Okay. Does anybody has problems there? Does anybody has problems here? Put problem to the chat if you have any problems, okay? Shekha, Arni, you will receive the tute. Okay, don't worry. Okay. Right. Right. I saw some students, they have put mixed fractions. Mixed numbers කියලා දැන් mixed fractions and mixed numbers. Mixed numbers අපිට මේ අතරම grade 6 syllabus we do not have to learn about those. Don't worry, I will teach everything step by step නේ. හරි. lesson එකට තියෙන ටික තමයි උගන්වන්නේ මුලින්. Right. Write down the subtopic. Equivalent fractions. Write down the subtopic. Equivalent fractions. Write down the subtopic. Equivalent fractions. Equivalent fractions. What do you mean by equivalent fractions? What do you mean by equivalent fractions? Puta, let me teach you this. Let me teach you this. Let's see. මේ බලන්න හරි. මේකේ දැන් මේකේ squares 1 2 3 4 5 6 තියෙනවා හරි. Right. I cut මේක cake එකක් කියලා හිතන්නකෝ. I cut this cake into two equal pieces. ඔන්න මං cake එක two equal pieces වලට කපනවා. අහගන්න. මේ ඉස්සලා අහගන්නකෝ හොඳට. I cut this cake into two equal pieces. I'm eating one piece. Sorry, one piece එකක් කනවා. So what is the fraction that I have? Eat 1/2. Sorry. Sorry. Then මේ cake එකම දැන් මේ cake එකම හරි. 4 equal pieces වලට කපනවා. දැන් මම ඔන්න මම ඉස්සලම පුතේ ඉන්න. පොඩක් අපි මෙහෙම කරමුකෝ. හරි. මෙන්න මේ ස්ක්වයර්ස් 8ක් තියෙනවා කියලා හිතමු අපි. හොඳට අහගන්න. හරි. ලියන්න මුකුත් කරන්න දෙන්න එපා අහගන්න හොඳට. මේ cake එක, this cake I cut into 2 equal pieces and I eat one piece. හරි. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 මම 8ක් ගන්නවා sorry. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. හරි. So 2 equal pieces you have to cut here now. So what is the fraction? Cut into 2 pieces and eat one piece. 1 over 2. Correct. Same cake. ඔන්න පුතා same cake. හරි. I cut this same cake into බලන්න. හරි. 4 equal parts. හරි 4 equal parts. නෑ මේක නෙමෙයිනේ. හරි බලන්න. 4 equal parts. 4 equal parts ඔන්න 2 parts වලට කපලා මේක ආපහු parts දෙකකට කපලා. හරි. ඔන්න 4 equal parts. හරි. 4 equal parts. මේකෙන් මම 2 pieces කනවා. හරි. What is the fraction? 2 over 4, right? 2 over 4. 2 over 4. I cut the same piece of cake into 8 equal parts. Cut it to the board. 8 equal parts වලට කරනවා. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, right? හරි. දැන් ඕකෙන් මම 4 pieces කරනවා. හරි. What is the fraction here? 4 over 8. Puta, now here can you understand Puta here මේ same cake එක. හරි. ඔයා කරන්නේ මේ වාටයි මල්ලිටයි නංගිටයි. එකම වර්ගයේ කේක් 3ක් ගෙනල්ලා දෙනවා. ඔයා සමාන කෑලි 2කට කපලා එකක් කනවා. නංගි සමාන කෑලි 4කට කපලා කෑලි 2ක් කනවා. මල්ලි සමාන කෑලි 8කට කපලා කෑලි 4ක් කනවා. හරි. At the end of the day you can understand you Malli and Nangi. Hari. You have taken the equal amount of cakes ne. දැන් මේ cakes තුන බැලුවාම පේනවා shade වෙලා තියෙන්නේ එකම ප්‍රමාණයක්. Now you have to understand පුතා. එහෙනම් cake එකෙන් 1 over 2 කිව්වත් එකයි. 2 over 4 කිව්වත් එකයි. 4 over 8 කිව්වත් එකයි. හරි. These අපි මේවට කියනවා equivalent fractions කියලා. දැන් 1 over 2 ගේ equivalent fractions තමයි මේවා. මේ හරි. ඒවා එකිනෙකට equivalent fractions වෙනවා. කේක් එකක් ගෙදර ගෙනල්ලා හරියටම සමාන කෑලි දෙකකට කපලා එක කෑල්ලක් කෑවත් එකයි. සමාන කෑලි 4කට කපලා කෑලි 2ක් කෑවත් එකයි. ඒක සමාන කෑලි 8කට කපලා කෑලි 4ක් කෑවත් එකයි. ඔයා එකම ප්‍රමාණය මේ කන්නේ. හරි. So 1 over 2, 2 over 4, 4 over 8. All these fractions are same. We called those fractions they are equivalent to each other. Can you understand? Turn on the chat. Can you understand this? Can you understand this? Yeah. Turn off the chat. Hurry. How to take the equivalent fractions? Now you can take down. No? Turn off the chat. Hurry. Again. Now you can take this down. So here you can write 1 over 2 is equal to අපි ඒකට කලින් මෙහෙම ඉන්නකො පැහැදිලි කරන්න. හරි. දැන් ඔන්න 1 over 2. 1 over 2. I can take equivalent fraction of this. හරි. ඔන්න බලන්න මේ numerator එකයි denominator එකයි එකම සංඛ්‍යාවෙන් ගුණ කරනවා. දැන් ඔන්න බලන්න පුතා. I multiply this denominator by 2. If you multiply the denominator by 2, you have to multiply the numerator by 2 as well. හරි. එතකොට තමයි equivalent fraction එක හම්බෙන්නේ. In order to take the equivalent fractions, you have to multiply the denominator and numerator by the same number. So what is the value here? 2 over 4. එතකොට 1 over 2 ගේ equivalent fraction එකක් තමයි 2 over 4 කියලා කියන්නේ. They are same. මේ fractions are they are same amount එක. හරි. If I multiply this 2 by 4, හරි. හරි. මම 2 by මම 2 3 ගෙන් multiply කරා කියනවා. So you need to multiply the numerator by 3 as well. So 3 over 6. All right. If you multiply this by 4, you have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. So you are getting the equivalent fractions. 4 over 8. So what you have to understand here, so 1 over 2 is equal to, sorry, 2 over 4 is equal to 3 over 6 is equal to 4 over 8. හරි. අපිට තව ඕන තරම් ලියන්න පුළුවන්. By multiplying the denominator and numerator by the same number. Now, we call them as equivalent fractions. We call them as equivalent fractions. Turn on the chat. Can you understand? Is it crystal clear, Bude? Is it crystal clear? All right. Okay. Turn off the chat. Then මේ බලන්න. The same as. දැන් මේ බලන්න දැන් මෙයා ගත්තොත් 4 over 8. හරි. Numerator එකයි denominator එකයි same number එකෙන් divide කරලොත් equivalent fractions ගන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් බලන්න මේ මම මෙයාව 4ෙන් බෙදනවා. ඒතර මෙයාත් 4ෙන් බෙදනවා. මෙයා 4ෙන් බෙදනවා 1. I divide 4 by 4 1. I divide 8 by 4 2. So 1 over 2. Right? So if you multiply or divide the denominator and numerator by the same number, you are getting equivalent fractions. Right. Okay, make a note කරගන්න. හරි. Right. Well done. අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේ බෝඩ් එක කපාගන්න. Turn on the chat. Put noted on the chat if you have already noted this down today. Hari. Newbies. New chuti do's and putalas. Could you understand everything I taught you so far regarding the lesson fractions? So how do you feel about our class?
ඔන්න ඔතෙන්ට වෙනකන් තියෙන ස්පේස් එකනේ අයින් කරන්න ඕන. මෙන්න මේක. එතකොට මෙතන කර්සර් එක
By
තියලා
all students who got the
මෙතන
marks.
කර්සර් එක තියලා
You turn
delete
press
key එක
marks.
press කරන්න පුළුවන්.
Okay. term test marks දාන්න
හරි.
my all students.
ඡේද දෙකක් වෙන් කරන්නේ ඡේද දෙකක්
80
වෙන්
to
කරන්නේ
100,
දැන් enter key එක press කරා නම්
92.
ඡේදය වෙන් වෙනවා. මෙතනින් මට මෙතනින් ඡේදය වෙන් කරගන්න ඕන. enter key එක press කරොත් ඔන්න ඡේදය වෙන් වෙනවා.
තාම ලකුණු හම්බෙලා නැහැ නේද හැමෝටම?
හරි.
හරි.
එතකොට මේ ඡේදය වෙන් කරපු එක අයින් කරන්න නැත්නම් මේ ඡේද දෙක එකතු කරන්න මට කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වෙන්නේ
97,
මෙන්න
okay.
මෙතන ඉඳලා මෙතෙන්ට
Right.
වෙනකන් තියෙන
Okay, Buddha.
එක අයින්
So we
කරන්න
shall
තියෙන
see
මේ
on
end එක
the
අයින් කරන්න
next
ඕන.
session on the next week.
එතකොට ඒ අයින් කරන්න ක්‍රම දෙකක් තියෙනවා.
හරි.
එකක් තමයි
You
මට
learned about
පුළුවන්
the mixed
මෙතන
numbers. Sorry.
මේ
Mixed
පළවෙනි
numbers.
ඡේදයේ
ඒක
අග
මෙතනදී
කර්සර් එක තියලා
නෑ.
delete key එක
මෙතන එකක්
press
දාගමු.
කරන්න.
හරි. Okay, Buddha. So
හරි. L key එක බලන්න
all
පුළුවන්.
right.
ඒ
Could not
වගේම
complete the note on the board.
දෙවෙනි
හරි. Note එක
ඡේදයේ
දාන්න.
මුල තියලා
හරි.
backspace
පොතේ
key එක press කරන්න
today I'm
පුළුවන්.
going to end the
මෙන්න
session
මෙහෙම
from
ඊතලයක්
here.
තියෙන. අන්න
So
ඒක.
I can hear
එදා
something.
පළවෙනි දවසේ අපි බැලුවනේ
Another
backspace
voice
key
එකක්
එක
ඇහෙනවද?
හෙව්වා නේද? enter
මොකද්ද?
key එක හෙව්වා. හරි. ඒ key එක press කරන්න දෙන ඔය ක්‍රම දෙකෙන්ම
මොකක්ද නේ another voice
වෙන්නේ
එකක්
එකම
ඇහෙනවා
දේ.
කියන්නේ? සින්දුද? සවුන්ඩ් ෂෙයා කරලා තිබ්බේ? හා. හා? හරි සවුන්ඩ් ෂෙයා කරලා තිබ්බේ? හරි. හරි. Okay, Buddha, sorry for that. හරි. I'm going to end the session from here.